Hello everyone, it's your boy Alexis Yoko or Alexander, and today I'll be talking about some small details of Blake Butler that I didn't observe at first. Let's start. Let's talk about Sasha's fashion style, particularly about their rolled up pants. This is something I didn't really pay attention to, as I thought it's just Sasha having a quirky and different fashion style, but it's actually more than that. Let's look at some fashion plates and photos from the 1880s. I'll use both male and female fashion because we don't know Sasha's gender. Observe how women and men have longer dresses and pants. Teenager girls are wearing longer dresses than the little girls, but shorter than the women. The closer they get to adulthood, the longer their skirts wear. Boys are also wearing shorter pants, but I've seen them wearing the same things that men are wearing. We're not talking about the cycling outfits because that's not what Sasha wears. We're also not talking about CL's usual outfits because they're supposed to be eye candy for the reader. They're not supposed to be historically accurate. A boy CL's age will wear the same thing he wore when he was a Western student. Back to Sasha. Their pants are not just shorter because they tailored like this. Sasha wears long pants that they rolled up to make them appear shorter. I guess this suggests their desire to stay a kid for a little longer, even if they know they are grown up and they have to behave accordingly. This makes me wonder if Sasha was allowed to live their childhood properly in their previous life. Because they seem to be an early teenager, but they behave like a younger kid. Almost like protesting against having to grow up. Sasha's behavior is also very similar to Finney's behavior. More childish than your average teenager, and just excited to live their new life and be free. And as we know, Sasha is a Shinigami, and Finney was isolated from the outside world and experimented on. What do you guys think? Remember when I said I believe Grell used to be poor in her previous life? My arguments were that she doesn't care about working overtime and that she fixed Madame Red's jacket by herself, instead of going to a tailor. The argument with the jacket can be deconstructed. One can argue that Grell fixed the jacket by herself as a reminder, and to show that she still cares about Madame Red. And I agree. However, I can reconstruct my argument. Grell is still wearing a jacket that doesn't fit her, a jacket that was non-professionally fixed, instead of just keeping it as a memory. Would an old money person do this? Speaking of old money and new money, raising your pinky finger like this when holding something, or someone, is pretty much inappropriate, and is something a not so classy person does to seem classy. Grell is not a high-class lady. Her mannerisms, her language, even her promiscuity shows that she's not a high-class lady, and she wasn't raised as such. She's not old money. Even the dress Yana designed for her looks very new money. Now, I grew up in a working-class family in a poor area, so what I'm saying about Grell is in no way, shape, or form supposed to be an insult. It's just another argument of Grell possibly being poor in her previous life. Also, even if Grell wants to be a high society lady, she embraces the things that will indicate she's not. She just does what she wants. Is raising your pinky finger inappropriate? Whatever. We're talking about a woman who wears her hair loose in the Victorian era. If you look at Undertaker, the first thing you notice about him are his scars. He didn't have them before deserting. That's why some fans say he got these scars in a fight while trying to escape, and that these scars were caused by a death side. But Grell was injured really badly by Undertaker's death side, yet she wasn't left with scars on her chest. It seems like Grell wore that deep V-cut overall just to show Undertaker that she's fine. You'll see Undertaker's scars are all over his body, including his face, his neck, and his heart. But also his pinky finger. So, someone specifically aimed at his pinky finger. In a fight, I think they captured him and tortured him instead. Possibly with something else than a dead side. Possibly with something that can wrap around his body and cut him while also trapping him. Possibly with cinematic records. We know a dead side can cut through everything, even cinematic records. But are cinematic records more harmful to a Shinigami than a dead side can be? Probably. Also, wasn't the Taker cut into pieces and then stitched back together for a sadistic experiment? Also probably. Are they experimenting on deserters or Shinigamis that break the rules in general? I mean, Grell was significantly more determined to respect the rules after her suspension ended. What did they do to her? What did they do to Undertaker? What's your take on this? Because by now, I only have theories. We know Bart used to think that cooking and cleaning is a woman's job, and this is a sexist attitude. However, I don't think Bart as a person is or was sexist. He grew up in a small village and was used to a certain lifestyle. He was educated that men and women have to do different specific things and behave in certain specific ways. Also, gender roles were very strict back then. People couldn't really escape them, especially in a small community. For Bart, this is just normal, and he considered it weird that Sebastian asked him to do what he learned is a woman's job. But we don't see him disrespecting or belittling women. He doesn't think men are superior to women. He was just used to a certain mentality that in the end he got rid of. We can see he respected his wife and was happy with his family. Also, observe his son's attitude towards Joanna. If Bart was sexist and disrespectful towards his wife, Butler Jr. would be the same, since Bart is his male role model. But the kid considered his mother their protector for doing something traditionally feminine, and traditionally feminine things are rather associated with weakness. Also, it's possible that Bart considered he will never be able to make such delicious meals like his wife used to, that his cooking can't be as good as hers, or even that he is not as strong as she is, considering that he was in a very fragile mental state at the moment. In conclusion, Bart used to have a more conservative attitude, but he wasn't and he is not sexist. This one is really short, I don't have much to say about it. However, for a guy that says he's not the one to joke, we actually saw William joking the first time we saw him in the manga. When Sebastian was about to kill Grell, he was just like, "Oh, sorry to interrupt your conversation." That is actually a good joke. That was all. Tell me what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching.